The one problem we didn't get to today was, given a function that involves sine or cosine, find the inverse function, and also find the domain and range. Finding the domain and range is pretty straightforward because the domain of the given function was negative pi halves to pi halves. So the range of f inverse is going to be from negative pi halves to pi halves. The original function is a sine function with a stretch of 7, an amplitude of 7, and a vertical shift of 4. So the range of the original function would have gone from negative 3 to 11, and so the domain of f inverse is going to go from negative 3 to 11. In other words, I took the negative 7 to 7 that 7 sine x would be and shifted that up by 4. That would have been the range of f of x. F of x and f inverse, you switch the x and the y's, so you switch the domains and the range. Then we go back to our old techniques for solving when we have inverse functions, and our strategy was you would replace the function with y and then switch the x's and y's and solve for y to get the inverse function. So in order to get y by itself, I'd first subtract 4, and then I would divide by 7, so I would have that the sine of y is x minus 4 over 7. And remember that at the beginning of this problem we said that we were going to restrict this from negative pi halves to pi halves. That means that I can go ahead and take the arcsine, because I had things restricted just right from negative pi halves to pi halves, and so the inverse function is the arcsine of x minus 4 over 7, and the domain of the inverse function is negative 3 to 11. The range is negative pi halves to pi halves.